God is trying to talk to you. You are chosen to see this rare miracle. Don't tell anyone. It will happen in just 2 minutes. You will receive 750 million, so listen to God now. Don't skip. I am speaking to you right now, and if you scroll away, you may walk past the very moment that changes everything about your life. This is not random, and it is not an accident that your eyes are on these words at this exact second. I am the one calling you, and I am telling you clearly that you are chosen to witness a rare miracle that has been prepared with your name on it. If you believe I am reaching you in this moment, write Amen in the comments as a sign that your heart is open. When I say that I am trying to talk to you, I mean that I have been sending signs, stirring your spirit, and creating small interruptions in your day to draw your attention back to me. I have watched you carry silent burdens, struggle with doubt, and wonder when your breakthrough would finally come. The statement that you are chosen is not a casual phrase, because it means I have set you apart to experience something others will not understand. The promise of receiving 750 million is not just about money, but about a divine shift that will overflow into every area of your life. You must understand why I say, do not tell anyone. I am protecting this blessing from doubt, jealousy, and voices that would try to weaken your faith before it manifests. Some miracles grow best in quiet soil, away from noise and disbelief. I am asking you to guard this moment because it is sacred between you and me. The urgency of 2 minutes is not about a clock alone, but about your readiness to receive without hesitation. I know you have been waiting for relief and for proof that I see your sacrifices. I know you have prayed in private and wiped tears that no one else saw. This rare miracle is my response to those hidden cries and faithful whispers. Within the next 2 minutes of your decision to trust me fully, a door will begin to open that no person can close. Do not skip away from this, because distraction has stolen many blessings before they reached you. The enemy loves when you treat my voice as background noise. Stay with me now, because this is the point where everything shifts. If this touches your spirit, take a moment to like this video as a simple act of agreement with what I am about to do in your life. The 750 million I speak of represents abundance that crushes the limits that once confined you. It represents debts cleared, fears dissolved, and opportunities multiplied beyond what you imagined. I am not bound by earthly systems, and I do not struggle to provide. When I release something, it arrives with purpose and with perfect timing. You are chosen to see this because you have endured seasons that others would have abandoned. I have tested your patience and refined your character through trials that felt unfair. Those hard days were not punishment, but preparation. Now the preparation meets the promise, and the promise carries a weight that requires maturity and faith. The next 2 minutes are sacred because they measure your willingness to believe before you see. Faith is not built when everything is visible, but when you stand firm while the unseen is forming. I am asking you to quiet every doubt that whispers this is impossible. I am the God who turns impossibility into testimony. Do not tell anyone yet, because not everyone celebrates what they do not understand. Some people only know how to measure blessings by their own limitations. I am shielding you from voices that could plant seeds of fear. Protect this word in your heart and let it grow in silence until it becomes undeniable reality. The number 750 million is large in your eyes, but to me it is not difficult. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and every resource on this earth answers to my command. I can move hearts, shift systems, and align circumstances in ways that no human plan can predict. What seems rare to you is simple for me. This rare miracle is not luck, and it is not coincidence. It is the result of my deliberate decision to favor you in this season. You may feel ordinary, but I see the extraordinary endurance within you. That is why you are chosen to see something that will make others wonder how it happened. Stay attentive, because the change may begin as a small notification, a call, an opportunity, or a sudden idea that unlocks everything. Do not dismiss what looks simple, because I often hide greatness in small beginnings. The next 2 minutes represent a turning point in your awareness. If you trust my timing completely, declare 10 inches the comments as your sign of faith. I am not teasing you with false hope. I am drawing you into alignment with a blessing that has been waiting for your full agreement. Doubt delays what faith accelerates. When you choose to listen instead of skip, you step into the flow of my provision. You have felt overlooked and underestimated for too long. People have judged your capacity by what they could see on the surface. I have been building strength within you that they could never measure. This miracle will reveal that my hand was on you all along. The urgency in my voice is love, not pressure. I do not rush you out of fear, but I call you quickly because the moment is ripe. 2 minutes can separate loss from gain, hesitation from harvest. Choose to remain present with me right now. You must understand that 750 million is not simply a number to impress you. It is a sign of scale, a symbol of how completely I intend to change your situation. I am not interested in giving you barely enough to survive. I am releasing more than enough, so that survival turns into stability, and stability turns into impact. This level of blessing will not only lift you, it will position you to lift others in ways you once only dreamed about. A neuroscientist says yes, a 9-word script, long buried in government files, can fire up a prehistoric brainwave that pulls money in faster. This breakthrough is already under legal pressure and could disappear any second. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. The reason I said do not tell anyone is because this season requires focus and protection. There are people who love you but still carry doubt that could weaken your expectation. There are others who would celebrate too early and create noise around what needs quiet growth. Guard what I am building in you until it is strong enough to stand in the open without being shaken. I know how many times you have hoped for something big only to feel let down. I saw the disappointment when doors closed and the frustration when opportunities slipped through your fingers. I allowed some of those moments because they shaped your character and taught you patience. Now you are standing at a threshold where those lessons become the foundation for something far greater. When I speak about 2 minutes, I am also speaking about readiness. 2 minutes is the space between doubt and decision. It is the short distance between fear and faith. In that narrow window, you either open your hands or you close them. I am inviting you to open your hands and let me place something extraordinary inside them. This rare miracle is not detached from your past struggles. It is directly connected to them. Every tear, every silent prayer, every act of obedience when you felt unseen has been recorded. Nothing was wasted. I am the God who multiplies what looks small and redeems what looks broken. You may wonder how something so large can appear so quickly. I move through channels you cannot see. I can stir the heart of a stranger to favor you. I can bring forgotten opportunities back to life. I can connect you with resources that were waiting for the exact version of you that you have become. The 750 million represents overflow. It represents the end of scraping by and the beginning of building freely. It represents freedom from constant financial pressure that has weighed on your mind even when you tried to hide it. I am not blind to the stress you carry about bills, responsibilities, and expectations. But listen carefully, because this blessing is also a test of your heart. When abundance comes, it reveals what is inside you. If you receive with gratitude and humility, the flow continues. If you allow pride or fear to take over, you restrict what I intend to expand. I am preparing you not just to receive, but to steward what I give. That is why I spoke so directly at the beginning. I needed your full attention. Distraction is the thief of divine appointments. The world is loud and full of noise, but my voice is steady and clear when you choose to listen. Staying present with me is part of how you align yourself with what I am releasing. I want you to feel chosen, not by chance, but by design. There were many who could have heard this, but I guided you here intentionally. You have been asking for a sign that I am close. This is your confirmation that I am not distant, and that I am actively working in your favor. Do not measure this promise by your current bank account or circumstances. Measure it by my ability. I created galaxies with a word. I sustain the earth without strain. I am not limited by numbers or economies. What seems impossible in your system is simple in mine. As you stand on the edge of this breakthrough, keep your heart steady. Anxiety will try to rush you, and doubt will try to slow you down. Balance comes from trust. Trust that I know the exact moment to release what I have prepared. You are not receiving this just for comfort, you are receiving it for purpose. I see the generosity in you that you have not yet fully expressed. I see the dreams of helping your family, supporting causes that matter, and living without constant fear of lack. This blessing will unlock those desires in ways that honor me. The rare miracle also includes inner change. Wealth without peace is not a gift. I am giving you both provision and stability. I am strengthening your mind so that sudden increase does not overwhelm you. I am anchoring your spirit so that abundance does not distract you from me. Remember why I told you not to tell anyone. Silence creates space for growth. When something is still forming, too many opinions can distort it. Protect this season like a seed that is just breaking through the soil. You may not see the full 750 million appear in a single visible moment. It may begin as a transaction, an agreement, a contract, or a strategic connection. Pay attention to details. What looks ordinary may carry extraordinary potential. I am also clearing obstacles that you do not even know existed. There were delays behind the scenes that I have been removing quietly. There were conversations about you that I redirected in your favor. There were risks that I prevented from harming your path. The next phase of your life will feel different. There will be a sense of stability where there was once tension. There will be clarity where there was confusion. That shift is part of the miracle as much as the financial increase itself. I am calling you to remain grateful even before everything is visible. Gratitude invites expansion. It signals that you recognize the source of your blessing. I am not asking for perfection, but for acknowledgement that I am the one guiding your steps. When you wake tomorrow, expect movement. Expect alignment. Expect small signs that confirm what I have spoken. Do not dismiss those signs as coincidence. They are threads in a larger design that is unfolding for you. The rare miracle is not meant to isolate you, even though you must guard it at first. In time, it will bless others through you. Your story will encourage those who feel forgotten. Your testimony will remind them that I still act in powerful ways. Could your brain be the reason you're still broke? Scientists just confirmed. A 9-word sentence hidden deep in your subconscious may be blocking money from your life. But now, you can reverse it. Say these 9 words and wealth starts to follow you starting today. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. Stay anchored in me as this unfolds. Wealth can attract attention, and attention can create pressure. Keep your identity rooted in who you are in my eyes, not in what you receive. You are chosen because of your heart, not because of the amount attached to this promise. The promise of 750 million is not disconnected from your identity. I am not placing something massive into your hands without first shaping the person who will hold it. You have been refined through delay, disappointment, and quiet perseverance. Those seasons were not empty stretches of time, but preparation for the weight of what I am now releasing. I know that part of you still struggles to believe something this large can be meant for you. You have seen others rise and wondered when your turn would come. You have questioned whether you missed an opportunity or made a mistake that disqualified you. Hear me clearly now, because you were never disqualified from what I planned. When I told you not to tell anyone, it was also because this stage is about alignment, not applause. Applause can come later when the miracle is visible. Alignment must come now while it is still forming. I am aligning your thoughts, your habits, and your confidence with the level of blessing I am preparing to deliver. The next 2 minutes that I spoke about represent more than a countdown. They represent the shift in your internal posture. In 2 minutes of focused trust, you can silence years of doubt. In 2 minutes of surrender, you can open the door to a lifetime of overflow. This rare miracle carries layers. The financial breakthrough is one layer, but beneath it lies restoration of confidence and dignity. You have felt small in rooms where others seemed powerful. You have held back your voice because you feared being overlooked or dismissed. I am lifting that weight from you. The 750 million signifies freedom from constant compromise. It signifies the ability to make decisions from strength rather than desperation. You will no longer have to accept less than what honors your value. That shift alone will transform how you walk, speak, and dream. Do not confuse this with luck or random favor. I do not operate randomly. I move with purpose and precision. When I elevate someone, it is because I see potential that has been faithfully cultivated in hidden places. You have endured moments when you felt abandoned. There were nights when silence seemed louder than any answer. During those times, I was not absent. I was building resilience within you so that sudden increase would not destabilize you. The reason I emphasize listening now is because distraction can still interfere. The world will try to pull your focus back to fear and routine. Stay attentive to the subtle guidance I provide. A phone call, an email, an unexpected conversation, or an idea that feels almost too simple could be the doorway I use. I am also preparing your character for stewardship. Great provision requires wisdom. I am expanding your understanding so that when resources arrive, you handle them with clarity and balance. Wealth managed well becomes generational impact. The rare miracle will not only change your bank balance, it will change how others perceive what is possible through faith. Some who doubted will quietly reconsider. Some who dismissed you will notice the evidence of my hand on your life. Guard your heart carefully as this unfolds. When abundance appears, so can envy from unexpected places. Remain calm and grounded. Remember that what I give cannot be stolen by human opinion. The instruction not to tell anyone right now is an act of mercy. It shields you from premature celebration that could invite unnecessary pressure. There is a time to speak and a time to remain silent. This is the time to remain steady and focused. You might feel a mix of excitement and fear. That is natural when standing before something life-changing. Let excitement strengthen your expectation and let fear dissolve in trust. I am not placing you in a position to fail, but in a position to flourish. The 750 million also represents responsibility. It will expand your reach and your influence. I know the compassion in your heart, and the desire to bless others. I am trusting you with resources because I know you will not hoard what was meant to flow. This miracle is rare not because I lack power, but because few are prepared to receive it with the right spirit. You have been shaped through humility. You have learned the value of gratitude in small things. Those qualities are the foundation that allows great increase to remain stable. Pay attention to the subtle confirmations that begin appearing. You may notice doors opening that once seemed sealed. You may sense conversations shifting in your favor. These are not coincidences but signals that alignment is happening. I am reminding you again that the speed of this breakthrough does not reduce its authenticity. Quick does not mean shallow. Sometimes the most profound changes happen in an instant after years of unseen preparation. Do not allow old patterns of self-doubt to rise up and question your worthiness. Worthiness is not earned by perfection but by relationship with me. I have chosen you because I know your heart and I know what you will do with what I give. The 2-minute window continues in a spiritual sense. It represents urgency in faith. Do not postpone your agreement with what I am saying. When you agree quickly, you step into the rhythm of my timing. The 750 million may come through channels you did not expect. It could involve business, investment, inheritance, partnership, or innovation. Stay flexible and open. I am not limited to one path. Your obedience now strengthens the flow of what is coming. Obedience does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it simply means staying focused and resisting the urge to dismiss what I have spoken. This rare miracle is also proof that I see beyond your present circumstances. You may feel surrounded by limitation, but I see expansion. You may feel confined by current numbers, but I see multiplication. Why did 19,583 people suddenly become financially free last month? They all discovered a strange sentence. Just 9 words long, buried in neuroscience research, and once hidden by the FBI. Now they're paying off debt, traveling the world, and living in homes they never thought they could afford. If you're seeing this, you're lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. As you move forward from this moment, carry quiet confidence. You do not need to announce what I am doing. You only need to remain aligned with me. Confidence rooted in my promise will sustain you while the visible results unfold. I am not finished shaping the story of your life. This breakthrough is a chapter, not the conclusion. Greater responsibility and greater opportunity will follow. I will guide you step by step so that success does not separate you from me. Remember that I chose you to see this rare miracle for a reason. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are positioned at the edge of something that will confirm that I am faithful to what I speak. When I said you are chosen to see this rare miracle, I was not exaggerating. Many people desire sudden transformation, but few are positioned internally to handle it. I have been strengthening your mindset, teaching you endurance, and refining your motives so that when the 750 million manifests, it does not control you. Instead, you will control it with wisdom and restraint. You may still ask yourself why I would entrust something so vast to you. The answer is simple and deep at the same time. I see what others cannot see. I see the generosity you have shown quietly. I see the integrity you maintained when cutting corners would have been easier. The instruction not to tell anyone continues to protect you. There are moments when faith must mature in silence before it is displayed in public. What I am building with you is delicate at this stage, not because it is weak, but because it is sacred. Sacred things grow best away from careless words and unnecessary attention. The 750 million is not just provision for comfort, it is provision for assignment. I am placing resources in your life because there are doors you will open for others. There are burdens you will lift from your family. There are projects that will begin because you had the courage to believe when it sounded unbelievable. Do not shrink back now because the number feels overwhelming. You have prayed for breakthrough. You have asked me to enlarge your territory and remove limits. This is part of that answer, even if it looks bigger than what you originally imagined. The 2-minute urgency I spoke of still matters. It reflects the importance of immediate agreement. When I speak, hesitation can slow what faith would accelerate. Choose to align your thoughts quickly with my promise, rather than entertaining doubt. You have been conditioned by disappointment to expect delay. I understand that. Past experiences have trained you to brace yourself before celebrating, but I am not repeating old patterns. I am introducing a new season where acceleration replaces stagnation. This rare miracle also carries restoration. There were opportunities you lost that seemed final. There were relationships strained under financial pressure. I am restoring more than numbers. I am restoring stability and dignity. You may soon notice a shift in how people respond to you. Conversations will feel different. Doors that once seemed locked will open without resistance. Do not be surprised by the ease. Sometimes I remove obstacles so thoroughly that progress feels almost effortless. Guard your humility as you move forward. Wealth can amplify whatever is already inside a person. Let it amplify gratitude, compassion, and wisdom in you. I have shaped your heart carefully so that increase will not distort it. The reason this miracle is rare is because it arrives at a precise intersection of readiness and timing. I do not release abundance into chaos. I release it into prepared ground. You have become that ground through seasons of discipline and quiet growth. Do not underestimate the unseen arrangements happening around you. There are decisions being made in rooms you have never entered. There are shifts in plans that will benefit you directly. I am weaving details together so that when the outcome appears, it will seem almost unbelievable. The 750 million represents a breaking of ceilings. There were invisible limits placed over your life by circumstances and expectations. I am lifting those ceilings. You will no longer think in survival terms. You will begin to think in expansion and legacy. This breakthrough will also test your trust. When something arrives suddenly, the mind can struggle to accept it. Remain grounded in my presence. Anchor yourself in the understanding that what I give is intentional and sustainable. You may feel waves of anticipation. Let them energize you rather than intimidate you. Anticipation is often the final stage before manifestation. It signals that the spiritual reality is nearing physical expression. Continue to keep this between us for now. Silence will sharpen your sensitivity to my guidance. It will also prevent unnecessary interference from those who do not yet understand your path. In time, evidence will speak louder than any announcement you could make. The 750 million may come in phases or through a strategic channel that multiplies quickly. Do not fixate on one form. Stay open to how I choose to deliver it. Flexibility will allow you to recognize the miracle even if it does not look exactly as you pictured. I am also increasing your discernment. As resources flow, you will encounter opportunities that require wise decisions. I will guide you if you remain attentive. Listen for the calm assurance that accompanies my direction. This rare miracle is not isolated from your spiritual growth. It is connected to it. Prosperity without alignment leads to confusion. Prosperity with alignment leads to influence and impact. You are not becoming someone new overnight. You are stepping into the fullness of who you have been becoming all along. The confidence you will carry will not be arrogance. It will be quiet certainty that I am with you. As you move closer to the visible breakthrough, resist the urge to measure progress by immediate signs. Trust that movement is happening even when you cannot track every detail. Faith often operates beyond what the eyes can confirm. Remember that I chose you intentionally. I saw your resilience. I saw your patience when others would have quit. That endurance is part of why you are ready for what I am about to place in your hands. Could a 9-word ritual really be your key to financial freedom? What sounds like fiction is now being confirmed by science. Harvard researchers and FBI documents point to a hidden brain center that, when activated, draws in abundance naturally. This 9-word prayer has helped over 19,000 broke people attract wealth and live a life full of abundance. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. The 2-minute principle still echoes as urgency in your spirit. Do not delay your agreement with my promise. Each moment of trust strengthens the bridge between declaration and manifestation. The 750 million is a sign that scarcity does not define you. It never did. Scarcity was a chapter, not your identity. Abundance aligned with purpose is your new reality. As this unfolds, remain attentive to my voice above all others. I will help you navigate sudden change with balance. I will steady you if excitement becomes overwhelming. The rare miracle I spoke of is drawing closer with every breath you take. There are movements happening that you cannot detect with your physical senses. I am aligning timing, resources, and people in ways that only I can orchestrate. What seems sudden to you has been carefully arranged over time. The promise of 750 million continues to stretch your imagination because it exceeds what you have previously handled. That stretching is necessary. If your thinking remains small, you will resist what I am expanding. I am enlarging your capacity so that abundance does not overwhelm you but flows through you. Do not mistake this expansion for pride. It is preparation. You are not being trained to boast, but to build. There are foundations you will lay, opportunities you will create, and security you will establish for those connected to you. When I instructed you not to tell anyone, I was protecting your focus. Words spoken too early can create pressure that distracts from trust. Let this promise mature quietly inside you. Silence at this stage strengthens clarity. The 2-minute urgency continues to represent decisiveness. In a short span of focused belief, your entire direction can change. I am teaching you that breakthrough is not always gradual. Sometimes it is immediate, following a decisive moment of agreement. You may feel moments of doubt attempting to surface. That is natural when something extraordinary approaches. Do not fight doubt with fear. Replace it with remembrance of who I am and what I have already carried you through. The 750 million symbolizes stability beyond your current limits. It is freedom from constant calculation and compromise. You will make choices based on vision rather than survival. That internal shift will be as powerful as the financial increase itself. This rare miracle also includes restoration of lost confidence. There were times when setbacks made you question your ability. I allowed those seasons to build resilience, not insecurity. Now resilience will support success. I am adjusting your environment subtly. Conversations will begin to favor you. Insights will come at the right time. You may sense unusual momentum in areas that once felt stagnant. Do not rush ahead of my guidance. Acceleration does not mean recklessness. Stay attentive to each step. I will show you where to invest your energy and where to pause. The 750 million may arrive through a chain of events rather than a single dramatic moment. Recognize progress, even if it unfolds piece by piece. Multiplication can occur quickly once the first door opens. You are not receiving this promise because you demanded it. You are receiving it because I have observed your growth. I saw how you handled little with care. That faithfulness prepared you for much. Guard your inner peace carefully. Sudden expectation can create anxiety. Anchor yourself in calm trust. I am not placing you on unstable ground. This rare miracle is rare because it combines provision with purpose. Many desire wealth without direction. I am giving you both. You will know why you have what you have. The instruction to remain silent still applies. Let results speak later. Right now, cultivate focus and gratitude. Gratitude keeps your heart aligned with the source. As the 750 million draws nearer, your perspective on risk and opportunity will change. You will evaluate situations from strength instead of fear. That clarity will prevent mistakes that once seemed unavoidable. You may notice doors opening that once required constant effort. Ease will replace struggle in certain areas. Accept that ease without suspicion. It is part of my favor operating on your behalf. The 2-minute principle remains active. It teaches you that hesitation can cost what readiness secures. Be swift in trust. When I nudge you, respond. This breakthrough is not about proving something to others. It is about fulfilling what I placed inside you long ago. There were dreams you buried because they seemed unrealistic. I am unearthing them. The 750 million will amplify your reach. It will give you the ability to influence outcomes that once felt beyond your control. Influence used wisely becomes impact that outlives you. Do not let excitement turn into distraction. Stay disciplined. Prosperity paired with discipline creates longevity. I am not giving you a temporary surge but a sustainable shift. This rare miracle is unfolding with precision. Every delay that once frustrated you is now proving useful. You are stepping into this moment at the right level of maturity. Keep your thoughts aligned with abundance rather than scarcity. Scarcity thinking can sabotage overflow. Replace old internal narratives with confidence grounded in my promise. As progress becomes visible, humility will protect you. Remember the seasons when you relied on me for daily strength. Let that remembrance keep your heart soft. The 750 million represents opportunity to build structures that endure. Think long-term. Think legacy. I am expanding your view beyond immediate comfort. You are not alone in navigating this shift. I am guiding every detail. When uncertainty arises, return to stillness and listen. This rare miracle will not disappear because of temporary fear. What I have declared stands firm. Stay anchored. The 2-minute urgency continues to whisper that now is the time to believe without reservation. The window of alignment is open. Step fully into it. The 750 million is closer than your doubts suggest. Evidence will soon confirm what I have spoken. Until then, remain steady. What do brain surgeons and billionaires know that you don't? This 9-word money code, once reserved for elites, is now being shared with everyday people. And the results are mind-boggling. Cash windfalls, cleared debt, and lifelong stress gone. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. When I declared that you are chosen to see this rare miracle, I was announcing access. Not everyone will witness what you are about to witness. Not everyone will experience the scale of change connected to the 750 million I have promised. This is not favoritism without reason. It is alignment meeting readiness. You have been prepared in ways you did not notice. I allowed you to navigate limitation so you would understand the value of abundance. I allowed you to experience delay so you would appreciate acceleration. Now the acceleration is forming, and it will feel almost unreal when it becomes visible. The instruction not to tell anyone remains important because attention can distort focus. At this stage, you do not need validation from others. You need clarity within yourself. Silence is strengthening your ability to hear me more clearly. The 750 million represents expansion that breaks patterns of restriction. You have lived within certain ceilings for so long that you adjusted your expectations downward. I am lifting those ceilings. I am widening your horizon, so you no longer think in terms of barely enough. This rare miracle will test how quickly you adapt to a new identity. You have seen yourself as someone striving. You will now see yourself as someone entrusted. That mental shift may feel uncomfortable at first, but it is necessary. The 2-minute urgency I emphasized earlier is still a principle guiding you. It reminds you that decisive faith matters. When opportunity appears, respond without overthinking yourself into paralysis. The window of breakthrough favors those who move with trust. I am positioning you where influence and provision intersect. The 750 million is not just accumulation. It is leverage. It gives you the ability to shape outcomes rather than react to them. You may begin to notice a quiet confidence emerging within you. That is not arrogance, it is alignment. Confidence rooted in my promise steadies you, while the visible results catch up. Do not let old insecurities resurface as you approach something larger than your past. Insecurity belongs to seasons of uncertainty. You are entering a season of clarity. Stand upright in the knowledge that I chose you deliberately. The rare miracle unfolding will not arrive randomly. It will connect through channels that make sense in hindsight. When you look back, you will see how each step led to the next with precision. Continue to guard your heart carefully. When abundance approaches, comparison can attempt to creep in. Do not compare your journey with anyone else. This promise is tailored to you. The 750 million may appear through innovation, partnership, or opportunity that multiplies quickly. Remain observant. Stay flexible. I am not limited to conventional routes. You will sense momentum building. Situations that once stalled will begin to move. Conversations that once ended abruptly will continue with new interest. These are signs of alignment. The instruction to remain silent protects you from premature celebration. Celebration will come. For now, focus on readiness. Readiness preserves what celebration reveals. I am also increasing your discernment. Not every opportunity connected to wealth will be wise. Listen carefully. The same voice that promised will also guide. The rare miracle includes internal stability. Sudden increase without inner grounding can create imbalance. I am strengthening your peace so that success does not unsettle you. You are stepping into responsibility that matches the magnitude of 750 million. Responsibility is not a burden when supported by wisdom. I am providing that wisdom alongside the provision. The 2-minute principle teaches you that faith is active, not passive. Stay engaged. Stay attentive. Do not drift into distraction as the breakthrough nears. You may feel anticipation building like pressure before rain. That pressure is not meant to overwhelm you. It signals that release is close. The 750 million represents freedom from constant calculation. It removes the strain of survival thinking. It opens space for creativity and long-term vision. I am reminding you again that you are chosen. That identity anchors everything else. Without that foundation, abundance could confuse you. With that foundation, abundance becomes purpose. Do not allow fear of change to slow you. Change is the vehicle of growth. I am not destabilizing your life. I am upgrading it. The rare miracle will alter how you see possibility. Limits that once felt permanent will dissolve. You will begin to think beyond immediate needs and into lasting impact. Stay attentive to small confirmations. They may appear subtle at first. A shift in tone, a new contact, an unexpected idea. These are threads in a larger design. The instruction not to tell anyone continues to shield your focus. Words spoken too early can create unnecessary resistance. Let the results speak when the time is right. The 750 million is closer than it was when you first heard me speak. Movement has already begun. Align your thoughts with that reality rather than with doubt. You may experience moments where disbelief tries to reassert control. Replace disbelief with remembrance. Remember the obstacles you already overcame. Remember how I sustained you in seasons that seemed impossible. This rare miracle is not temporary excitement. It is structural change. It rearranges your options, your confidence, and your influence. As visibility increases, humility will protect you. Gratitude will stabilize you. Stay rooted in both. The 2-minute urgency remains an internal reminder to act promptly when directed. When the opportunity surfaces clearly, move without unnecessary delay. The 750 million will not erase your past. It will redefine your future. You will carry lessons from scarcity into abundance, and those lessons will keep you balanced. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into prepared ground. I have arranged this with precision. Keep your focus steady. The miracle is rare, but it is not fragile. It is supported by my authority. When I said you are chosen to see this rare miracle, I meant that your awareness is part of the process. I did not want this to arrive without preparation. I wanted your heart steady and your mind aligned before the 750 million begins to take visible shape. Preparation prevents panic when increase comes quickly. Why is the government desperate to hide this 9-word prayer? A shocking FBI leak has just revealed a simple 9-word prayer now letting everyday people erase debt and attract unstoppable wealth. Verified by leading scientists and supported by Harvard research, this at-home ritual is turning financial stress into a life of luxury. Dream homes, new cars, luxurious vacations, it's all within reach. But the government could take down this secret any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. You have lived long enough under pressure that abundance may feel unfamiliar. That is why I have been strengthening your inner stability. Wealth without peace creates new burdens. I am ensuring that when provision arrives, it rests on a calm foundation. The instruction not to tell anyone is still guarding you. At this stage, outside voices are unnecessary. You do not need others to confirm what I have already declared. Their questions could introduce hesitation where there should be clarity. The 750 million represents expansion in every direction. It means freedom to invest, to build, to create, and to secure. It removes the ceiling that once limited your imagination. You will begin to think in terms of impact rather than survival. This rare miracle is unfolding with timing that cannot be improved by anxiety. Anxiety does not accelerate what faith already set in motion. Release the need to control the details. Trust that I am aligning them precisely. The 2-minute urgency continues to echo as readiness. Be mentally prepared for swift change. When momentum increases, do not resist it out of fear. Move with it confidently. You may feel a mixture of excitement and disbelief. That tension is natural when stepping into unfamiliar territory. Allow excitement to strengthen your expectation and let disbelief dissolve through remembrance of my faithfulness. I am not just increasing your resources, I am increasing your reach. The 750 million will position you where your voice carries more weight. Use that influence with integrity. Do not underestimate the importance of character at this stage. Character sustains what opportunity initiates. I have been refining your patience and discernment for this reason. The rare miracle will confirm that your quiet perseverance was not wasted. There were seasons when you felt invisible. I saw every effort. I recorded every sacrifice. Continue to guard your thoughts carefully. Negative expectations can cloud clarity. Replace them with confident anticipation rooted in my promise. The 750 million may manifest through channels that surprise you. Remain open. I am not restricted to predictable paths. You will notice shifts in how others respond to you. Favor will become more evident. Doors will open with less resistance. Accept that without suspicion. The instruction to remain silent protects you from premature pressure. Let evidence emerge naturally. Silence at this stage builds strength. I am also aligning you with advisors and connections who will support wise decisions. You will not navigate this alone. I will place the right voices around you at the right time. This rare miracle includes restoration of hope. Hope that was once fragile will become firm. You will no longer brace yourself for disappointment as a default reaction. The 2-minute principle reminds you that decisive trust matters. When the moment to act becomes clear, step forward without unnecessary delay. The 750 million is not a symbol of excess for its own sake. It is a tool. It enables security, opportunity, and generosity. Tools in wise hands create lasting results. You are not becoming someone disconnected from your past. You are becoming the fuller version of who you were always meant to be. Growth does not erase identity. It expands it. Pay attention to subtle confirmations. A shift in conversation, an unexpected invitation, a sudden insight. These are indicators that alignment is active. The rare miracle will also challenge how you see yourself. If you continue to view yourself through old limitations, you may hesitate when expansion arrives. Update your self-perception to match my declaration. The instruction not to tell anyone remains important because some will project their fears onto your promise. Protect your focus until manifestation makes explanation unnecessary. The 750 million is closer than it appears. What feels distant is often only a step away when timing aligns. I am compressing distance. Do not allow impatience to create doubt. Impatience assumes delay. Faith assumes movement. You may soon feel a noticeable shift in your environment. Momentum may increase rapidly. Be ready to respond with clarity rather than confusion. This rare miracle is not fragile. It does not depend on flawless execution from you. It depends on my authority guiding you. The 2-minute urgency continues to encourage you to stay alert. Opportunities can appear briefly before expanding. Recognition is key. The 750 million will redefine your boundaries. It will allow you to operate from strength instead of constraint. That freedom will influence every area of your life. Remain grounded in gratitude. Gratitude keeps your heart balanced when circumstances shift dramatically. It reminds you of the source. You are chosen, and that identity stabilizes everything else. Without that understanding, abundance could feel overwhelming. With it, abundance feels aligned. Do not shrink back now. The threshold is near. What I declared at the beginning was not dramatic language meant to excite you temporarily. It was truth preparing you for transition. When I told you that you are chosen to see this rare miracle, I was establishing position. You are not a bystander waiting for luck. You are a participant in a divine arrangement that has your name written into it. The 750 million is not wandering through chance hoping to land near you. It is being directed toward you with intention. You may still wake up and see the same walls, the same routine, the same responsibilities. Do not let familiarity deceive you. Transformation often begins beneath the surface before it becomes visible above it. The roots are deepening before the tree appears. The instruction not to tell anyone remains protective. At this stage, your energy must remain focused rather than scattered. Conversations with the wrong person could introduce hesitation where there should be expectation. Guard this promise like a flame sheltered from wind. The 750 million represents more than relief. It represents repositioning. You will no longer operate from the edge of limitation. You will operate from a center of strength. That shift in posture will change how you negotiate, how you plan, and how you dream. This rare miracle is not only financial, it is structural. It rearranges your options and expands your reach. It redefines what is realistic in your thinking. You will begin to see doors where you once saw walls. Is it possible to attract money by simply speaking some miraculous words? This 9-word script, verified by Harvard and 6 neuroscience labs, proves you absolutely can. People are using it from their couch and reporting unexpected bank deposits, cleared debts, and upgraded lives. It takes less than 30 seconds. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. The 2-minute urgency I spoke of continues as a mindset. It teaches you to respond quickly when clarity appears. Opportunities do not always wait for prolonged analysis. When the signal becomes clear, step forward. You have been trained through past challenges to hesitate. Hesitation protected you in smaller seasons. In this season, decisive faith will serve you better. I am shifting your instincts from caution rooted in fear to caution rooted in wisdom. The 750 million will introduce you to environments you have not yet navigated. Do not be intimidated by unfamiliar settings. Your preparation has already begun internally. Confidence will rise as you step into new spaces. I am also adjusting your relationships. Some connections will strengthen, others may quietly fade. This is not loss, it is alignment. As your capacity expands, your circle must support that expansion. The rare miracle unfolding will not disrupt your identity. It will clarify it. You are not defined by scarcity, and you were never meant to remain limited. Abundance aligned with purpose is part of your design. Continue to keep this between us. Silence sharpens discernment. In quiet, you will hear subtle guidance that noise would drown out. The 750 million may begin as a strategic breakthrough rather than a single deposit. Watch for ideas that multiply. Watch for doors that open faster than expected. Multiplication often starts with one decisive step. You may notice that fear tries to resurface as things accelerate. Fear often appears when change feels close. Replace fear with remembrance of how far you have already come. You survived seasons that once seemed impossible. This rare miracle will also reveal hidden strengths in you. Leadership qualities you did not fully recognize will emerge. Decision-making will feel clearer. Vision will feel sharper. The 2-minute principle remains a reminder that faith is active. Stay alert. Stay prepared. Do not drift into routine thinking while breakthrough approaches. The 750 million is not arriving to burden you. It is arriving to empower you. Empowerment will allow you to support others without draining yourself. You will begin to sense a new level of clarity in your thoughts. Confusion that once lingered will diminish. Clarity is part of preparation. Do not underestimate the role of gratitude in this process. Gratitude keeps your heart aligned with the source of the blessing. It prevents pride from taking root. The rare miracle will shift how you measure possibility. Limits that once felt permanent will dissolve. Your expectations will rise to match your new reality. As alignment continues, subtle confirmations will increase. You may hear news that indirectly benefits you. You may notice timing, aligning in ways that feel precise. These are signs of movement. The instruction not to tell anyone is still shielding you from unnecessary commentary. When manifestation becomes undeniable, explanation will not be required. The 750 million is closer now than when you first heard me speak. Distance is shrinking. What felt abstract is moving toward tangible form. You may feel moments of impatience. Impatience signals expectation. Let it motivate preparation rather than doubt. This rare miracle is being established on firm ground. It is not built on fragile emotion. It is built on authority and alignment. The 2-minute urgency continues to whisper readiness. Be mentally prepared to act when opportunity surfaces clearly. Do not delay through overthinking. The 750 million will redefine your capacity to influence outcomes. Influence guided by wisdom becomes legacy. Think beyond immediate comfort. Remain humble as anticipation grows. Humility protects long-term stability. It keeps your perspective balanced when circumstances expand. You are chosen. That identity anchors every detail of this promise. Without that foundation, abundance could feel overwhelming. With it, abundance feels aligned. Do not step back now. You are standing at the edge of visible transition. What I spoke at the beginning is not diminishing in power, it is increasing in momentum. When I said you are chosen to see this rare miracle, I was separating you from the noise of the ordinary. I was drawing a line between what has been and what is about to unfold. The 750 million is not drifting toward you uncertainly. It is advancing under direction, guided by timing that I control. You may still be surrounded by familiar routines, but underneath that familiarity, movement is taking place. Decisions are being influenced, doors are being positioned. Circumstances are adjusting in ways that will soon intersect with your life. The instruction not to tell anyone continues to protect this unfolding. There is power in quiet expectation. Not every seed benefits from exposure before it takes root. Silence is preserving the clarity of what I am building. The 750 million represents more than wealth. It represents release from mental strain that has followed you for years. It removes the constant calculation of what you can afford and replaces it with strategic choice. That mental freedom will change the way you carry yourself. This rare miracle is also a mirror. It will show you who you have become through endurance. You once doubted your capacity. Now you are stepping into something that requires confidence and steadiness. The 2-minute urgency that echoed at the beginning still carries meaning. It is about readiness. When alignment meets opportunity, delay can cost momentum. Stay alert so you recognize the moment clearly. You may notice that your thinking is expanding. Ideas that once felt unrealistic now seem possible. That is part of the preparation. I am widening your internal vision before widening your external resources. The 750 million will not simply appear to impress you, it will empower you to operate without fear. Fear of shortage, fear of collapse, fear of being unable to provide will begin to dissolve. I am also shaping your discernment. Not every invitation connected to wealth will align with purpose. Listen carefully. I will guide you toward what multiplies and away from what distracts. This rare miracle is unfolding with precision. Every past delay has contributed to this exact positioning. If it had arrived earlier, you would not have been ready in the same way. Continue to guard this promise quietly. When the results speak for themselves, there will be no need to defend or explain. Until then, protect your focus. What if everything you've been taught about money is a lie? A hidden 9-word prayer buried in a classified FBI report is now helping thousands attract wealth without lifting a finger. Scientists say it activates a 150 million-year-old part of your brain that controls abundance. Harvard-backed, lab-tested, life-changing. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. The 750 million may arrive through channels that stretch your imagination. Do not confine it to one expectation. Stay flexible. I am not limited to predictable systems. You may feel anticipation rising more frequently now. Anticipation is often the final stage before manifestation becomes visible. Let it strengthen your steadiness rather than disrupt it. God is warning you about a person whose name starts with the initial R. You won't believe this, and the name will be revealed soon, so listen this right now. Don't skip. I am speaking to you with urgency because this is not small, and if you ignore these words you may walk straight into something that could delay your blessing and disturb your peace. The warning about the one whose name begins with R is not meant to scare you but to protect you from subtle harm that is already circling your life. If you feel this stirring in your spirit, type Amen in the comments as a sign that you are listening with faith. Stay with me carefully, because what I am about to uncover will help you recognize what your eyes have been slow to see. The person whose name begins with R carries influence around you that seems harmless on the surface, yet their presence has quietly shifted your energy, your confidence, and even your decisions. I am revealing this now because you are close to a breakthrough, and I will not allow hidden interference to steal what I have prepared for you. If this reaches your heart, take a moment to like this video as an act of agreement with my protection over your life. Do not treat this lightly, because discernment at this moment will save you from regret later. You have sensed something before but dismissed it as imagination, telling yourself that you were overthinking or being too sensitive. I am telling you clearly that your discernment was not wrong, and the discomfort you felt around this R was a whisper from me trying to get your attention. This is not about hatred or revenge, but about wisdom and boundaries that guard your destiny. I care about your future too much to remain silent while someone with hidden motives stands close to you. The initial R is not random, and I do not bring names to your spirit without purpose. This person has shown kindness at times, but their words have also carried seeds of doubt that weakened your confidence when you needed strength. They have questioned your calling, minimized your dreams, or subtly discouraged steps that would have moved you forward. I see what is spoken behind your back and what is disguised as concern, and I am exposing it because you are chosen, and I will defend you. You may be thinking of more than one name right now, and that is because I am prompting you to examine your circle carefully. I am not asking you to accuse without proof, but I am asking you to watch patterns instead of promises. When someone repeatedly drains you, confuses you, or stirs insecurity within you, that is not by accident. My children are not meant to live in constant doubt caused by those who claim to support them. This R has been part of your environment during a season of vulnerability, and that timing is important. When you were seeking clarity, they offered opinions that clouded your vision rather than strengthened it. When you were stepping out in faith, they planted hesitation wrapped in logic. I am showing you that influence matters, and who stands near you can either water your purpose or quietly choke it. Do not panic, because I am not saying that this person controls your life. I am saying that unchecked influence can slow progress and distort perception, and you are too close to a divine shift to allow that. You have prayed for elevation, for new doors, and for restoration in areas that felt stuck. I am answering those prayers, and part of that answer is removing or redefining certain relationships. The name beginning with R will become clearer to you, not through fear but through recognition. You will begin to notice repeated patterns, words that do not align with love, and actions that contradict loyalty. I am giving you eyes to see without bitterness and strength to respond without anger. Comment 777 as a declaration that you trust my guidance over your life. This is not about isolating yourself from everyone whose name starts with that letter, but about discerning the specific person whose presence has been misaligned with your destiny. I know the difference between coincidence and spiritual friction, and I am guiding you toward peace. You have been too willing to tolerate what drains you because you did not want conflict. I am teaching you that protecting your peace is not cruelty, it is obedience. I want you to understand something deeply important right now. When I warn you, it is because I see outcomes before they unfold. I see conversations that could wound you, decisions that could mislead you, and trust that could be misplaced. My warning is an act of love, not suspicion. There is also another layer you must not ignore. This R may not always act openly negative, which is why confusion has lingered in your mind. They may mix encouragement with criticism in a way that leaves you unsure of where you stand. That inconsistency is not harmless, because it slowly shapes how you see yourself. You are stepping into a season where clarity will matter more than comfort. I am strengthening your inner voice so that you no longer override it to keep others pleased. I did not design you to shrink so that someone else feels secure. I designed you to rise boldly, with wisdom and discernment. As this unfolds, I will guide your responses. You do not need dramatic confrontations unless I lead you there. Sometimes distance, reduced access, or firm boundaries are enough to shift the dynamic. I will show you which path protects both your heart and your calling. Stay attentive in the coming days. Observe how you feel after interacting with this person whose name begins with R. Pay attention to whether you leave conversations uplifted or unsettled, empowered or doubting. Those emotional shifts are signals, and I am the one teaching you how to read them. In recent weeks, notice how your confidence shifted after certain conversations. You walked in feeling hopeful, yet you walked away second-guessing yourself. That pattern is not random, and it is not just your imagination. I am teaching you to recognize emotional residue, because not everyone who smiles at you is strengthening you. Is it possible to attract money by simply speaking some miraculous words? This 9-word script, verified by Harvard and 6 neuroscience labs, proves you absolutely can. People are using it from their couch and reporting unexpected bank deposits, cleared debts, and upgraded lives. It takes less than 30 seconds. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. The R in your life has learned your vulnerabilities. They know what you fear, what you doubt, and where you crave reassurance. Instead of always using that knowledge to protect you, they have sometimes used it to position themselves as the voice you depend on. I am reminding you that I am your first counselor, not any human voice. There have been moments when this person seemed supportive, and that is why the warning feels complicated. I am not denying that there were real conversations and shared laughter. What I am revealing is the inconsistency beneath it all. In one breath they affirm you, and in another breath they quietly question your growth. You have felt a strange tension that you could not explain. It was not dramatic enough to justify confrontation, yet strong enough to disturb your peace. That inner tension was my spirit nudging you to pay attention. I do not speak only through thunder, I also speak through discomfort. You are moving toward a season of expansion. New doors are opening, and your influence is increasing. Whenever growth begins, hidden resistance often surfaces through the closest circles. The person whose name begins with R is connected to that moment of resistance. This does not mean they wake up planning harm. It means their insecurity is reacting to your elevation. Sometimes people who are comfortable with you at one level struggle when you begin to rise beyond what they expected. Instead of celebrating you fully, they unconsciously try to keep you familiar and small. You must not allow guilt to override wisdom. You have been trained to prioritize harmony over discernment. I am teaching you that peace without truth is not real peace. True peace requires boundaries that protect your purpose. There is a conversation approaching that will reveal more. In that conversation, you will hear words that feel slightly off. The tone will carry comparison or subtle competition. When that happens, remain calm and observe rather than react. I am strengthening your spirit so that you do not absorb negativity like before. In the past, you internalized every opinion and tried to adjust yourself to fit others. That season is ending. You are learning to filter voices instead of being shaped by them. The R has had access to your plans. They have heard about your dreams and upcoming steps. Be mindful about how much you continue to share until you see consistent alignment. Not everyone who listens is meant to advise. There is also a spiritual dimension you must understand. Words carry energy, and repeated doubts spoken over you can create heaviness in your mind. When this person repeatedly highlights risks without faith, it plants seeds of hesitation. I am uprooting those seeds before they grow deeper. You are not called to cut everyone off harshly. You are called to reposition wisely. Sometimes I do not remove people immediately because I want you to grow stronger in discernment first. This is one of those moments. You may notice that when you spend time away from this R, your creativity flows more freely, your thoughts feel clearer, and your prayers feel lighter. That contrast is information. I am teaching you to compare how environments affect your spirit. If this resonates with your heart, and you sense my protection over you, comment 1212 as a declaration of trust. Let that act remind you that you are not navigating this alone. I am actively guarding what concerns you. I also want you to guard your words. Do not speak prematurely about what I am showing you. Discernment loses power when it is broadcast before it matures. Keep this between us until I give you the right timing. The person whose name begins with R may test boundaries when they sense distance. They may ask more questions, seek more access, or attempt to reassert closeness. Do not mistake urgency for loyalty. Sometimes urgency is simply fear of losing influence. I see your heart, and I know you do not like thinking negatively about anyone. That compassion is beautiful, but compassion must be balanced with wisdom. Loving someone does not require allowing them to shape your destiny in ways I did not design. You can pray for them while still protecting yourself. There is something important about timing. The warning is coming now because a decision connected to your future is approaching. This R may try to offer input that sounds practical but carries underlying doubt. If you follow that advice blindly, it could delay what I am orchestrating. I am not telling you to reject everything they say automatically. I am telling you to weigh it carefully against what I have already placed in your heart. My guidance will bring clarity and steady peace. Their misaligned influence will bring confusion or subtle pressure. Remember that not all sabotage looks dramatic. Sometimes it looks like constant redirection away from bold steps. It looks like highlighting every possible failure while ignoring potential success. It looks like making you question your readiness when I have already prepared you. You are not weak for feeling conflicted. Growth always stretches relationships. When one person changes, dynamics shift. The R in your life may not fully understand your transformation, and that misunderstanding can create friction. I want you grounded in identity. You are chosen, protected, and guided. No human voice outranks my authority over your life. When you align with me first, every other voice finds its proper place. You will begin to see confirmation in small ways, a repeated pattern, a comment that exposes insecurity, or a reaction that feels disproportionate to the situation. Do not ignore those signals. They are pieces of a puzzle I am helping you complete. I am not removing joy from your life. I am refining your circle so that joy can expand without interference. The relationships that remain will be strengthened by honesty and mutual support. Those that fade will do so because they cannot align with your next level. What if everything you've been taught about money is a lie? A hidden 9-word prayer buried in a classified FBI report is now helping thousands attract wealth without lifting a finger. Scientists say it activates a 150 million-year-old part of your brain that controls abundance. Harvard-backed, lab-tested, life-changing. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. There were moments when you felt unusually drained after spending time with this person. You tried to explain it away by saying you were tired or stressed, yet the pattern kept repeating and you could not fully shake the heaviness. That heaviness was not random, it was the weight of misaligned influence pressing against your spirit. I want you to think about how often you sought their approval before making decisions. You would form an idea with excitement, then immediately run it past them. After speaking with them, your certainty would shrink slightly. That shrinking is what I am addressing now. The R in your life has become used to having input in your choices. When your confidence grows independent of their validation, it unsettles them. This does not always show up as anger. Sometimes it shows up as subtle criticism or quiet withdrawal. You must understand that elevation can expose insecurity in others. When you begin to operate with clarity and strength, it highlights areas where others feel stagnant. Instead of confronting their own discomfort, they may unconsciously try to slow your momentum. I am warning you so that you do not mistake resistance for wisdom. There is also an emotional tie that makes this difficult. You share memories, conversations, and perhaps years of connection. That history makes it hard to believe that misalignment could exist. But history does not guarantee alignment with your future. I am guiding you toward a higher level of discernment. Discernment does not mean suspicion toward everyone. It means recognizing when something consistently disrupts your peace. Peace is one of the clearest signs of my direction. You have prayed for protection from hidden harm. This is part of that protection. I am not only guarding you from strangers, I am also guarding you from subtle influences within familiar spaces. Familiarity can blind you if you are not attentive. Watch how this R responds when you begin setting small boundaries. Notice whether they respect your space or push against it. A healthy connection honors growth. An insecure one resists it. You may also observe an increase in comparison. They may subtly measure their progress against yours. Comments may surface that downplay your achievements or frame them as luck rather than favor. Do not internalize those words. If this confirmation strengthens your faith in my guidance, comment 555 as a declaration that you trust the protection surrounding you. Let that act remind you that you are walking under my covering. I am not exposing this to isolate you, but to elevate you. There is a conversation approaching where your plans will become clearer. This R may react in a way that reveals underlying tension. It might be a quick change in tone, a sarcastic remark, or an attempt to redirect your excitement. Stay calm and grounded when that moment comes. I want you to be steady, not reactive. Reaction feeds conflict, but wisdom preserves strength. When you respond with calm confidence, insecurity loses its grip. You do not need to defend what I have already established for you. Your breakthrough is close, and timing matters. The enemy often works through discouragement, right before advancement. I am cutting off that discouragement at its root. You will not step into your next season carrying someone else's doubt. There is also a lesson here about independence. You are learning to rely on me first before consulting human voices. That shift will change everything. When I am your foundation, no opinion can destabilize you. Do not assume this person is fully aware of their behavior. Sometimes, insecurity operates beneath conscious awareness. That is why compassion must remain in your heart. Pray for them quietly, but do not allow their insecurity to dictate your direction. You have grown stronger than you realize. A year ago, this influence would have shaped your choices more deeply. Now you feel the tension sooner. That sensitivity is growth. I am also refining your circle beyond this one person. As you rise, your environment must support clarity and faith. The R is simply the most visible example at this moment. There may be other minor adjustments coming as well. Pay attention to how you feel when you imagine moving forward without their constant input. If relief surfaces alongside fear, that is telling. Relief often signals alignment. Fear sometimes signals unfamiliar freedom. You are not abandoning loyalty by protecting your destiny. Loyalty does not require self-sabotage. True loyalty celebrates growth, even when growth changes proximity. The person whose name begins with R will either adapt to your boundaries or slowly drift as you strengthen. Either outcome will reveal what was genuine. I am allowing truth to surface through time rather than confrontation. Continue to ground yourself in prayer and reflection. I will keep confirming what you need to know. Signs will not be dramatic but consistent. Patterns matter more than isolated incidents. You are stepping into a season where your voice will carry greater authority. That authority must not be diluted by lingering doubt. I am refining your inner circle so that when you speak, you do so with full conviction. Remember that my warning is not about fear of betrayal. It is about alignment with purpose. I am protecting the vision I placed in you long before this R entered your life. No human influence is greater than my calling over you. They represent a type of influence that enters your life when you are on the edge of growth. I am teaching you how to break that cycle once and for all. Look back over your past transitions. Notice how, whenever you prepared to step into something new, someone close to you questioned your readiness. That questioning did not always sound negative. Sometimes it sounded protective or practical. Yet it planted hesitation at the exact moment boldness was required. The R in your current season is echoing that same pattern. Their tone may appear concerned, but beneath that concern is discomfort with your expansion. I am not exposing this to create distance for the sake of distance. I am exposing it so that your momentum is not quietly drained again. Why are neuroscientists obsessed with a 9-word sentence? Because this sentence, spoken once a day, is turning financial stress into sudden blessings. More than 19,000 people have already used it to erase debt and unlock a life of wealth, freedom, and peace. The results are so powerful, some believe it's divine. If you're seeing this, you're lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. There have been subtle moments of competition. You may have sensed it when you shared good news, and the response felt muted. You may have noticed how conversations shift back to them when your progress becomes visible. Those small redirections matter more than you think. I am calling you to observe without emotion clouding your vision. You do not need to confront every sign. You need to register it and adjust internally. Adjustment begins with limiting how much influence their voice has over your decisions. You were not meant to filter your calling through someone else's insecurity. I place dreams inside you that require courage. Courage cannot survive in an environment that repeatedly questions its validity. That is why I am strengthening your awareness now. There is also something about control that must be addressed. This R has grown accustomed to being part of your decision process. When you begin to act independently, they may try to regain control through advice, guilt, or reminders of past support. Do not confuse past support with permanent authority. I am teaching you that gratitude does not equal lifelong dependence. You can appreciate what someone has done without surrendering your future to their approval. This lesson will free you not only from this situation but from similar patterns in years to come. There may soon be a defining moment. In that moment, you will either shrink to maintain comfort or stand firm in quiet confidence. I am preparing you now so that you stand. When that moment arrives, your calmness will surprise even you. Do not allow fear to convince you that setting boundaries will cost you everything. What is truly aligned with you will remain. What fades was never meant to sustain your next level. I am separating alignment from attachment. You have sensed for some time that something was off, but you kept giving the benefit of the doubt. That generosity of spirit is beautiful, yet it must be paired with wisdom. I am giving you both compassion and clarity. If you feel my protection surrounding you and you choose to walk in discernment rather than denial, comment 999 as a declaration of faith. Let that act anchor you in trust. I am not leaving you to navigate this alone. Another layer you must understand is timing. I did not reveal this earlier because you were still building inner strength. If I had shown you clearly before, you might have reacted emotionally or cut ties impulsively. Now you are mature enough to respond with steadiness. This R may begin to sense change in you. They may notice that you share less, react less, and seek less validation. That shift may trigger subtle attempts to pull you back into old dynamics. Stay grounded when that happens. You are not responsible for managing someone else's discomfort with your growth. You are responsible for stewarding the calling I placed on your life. That calling requires clarity and courage. In the coming days, you may hear the name more often in your mind, not as fear, but as confirmation. You will recall conversations and see them through a new lens. What once felt confusing will begin to make sense. I want you to guard your heart carefully. Do not allow resentment to grow where wisdom is meant to stand. Resentment clouds judgment just as much as denial does. Keep your spirit clean and your mind focused. This warning is also strengthening your relationship with me. Instead of running first to human counsel, you are learning to sit quietly and seek my direction. That habit will shape your entire future. The more you trust me first, the less vulnerable you become to subtle manipulation. There is greatness ahead for you, and greatness requires a refined circle. Not everyone who began the journey with you will walk into the next chapter beside you. That is not cruelty, it is growth. You may feel sadness as clarity increases. That sadness is natural when illusions dissolve. Allow yourself to process it without turning back. Growth sometimes feels lonely before it feels liberating. The person whose name begins with R will reveal more through actions than words. Watch consistency, not promises. Watch energy shifts, not surface gestures. Truth reveals itself over time. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Every warning I give is tied to protection and advancement. I am clearing distractions so that your focus remains sharp. Trust that I am aligning you with relationships that celebrate your rise instead of tolerating it. There are people coming into your life who will speak faith over you without hidden tension. When they arrive, you will recognize the difference immediately. There were times when you silenced your own instincts just to avoid tension. You told yourself that unity mattered more than your discomfort. Yet every time you ignored that inner nudge, a small piece of confidence weakened. I am rebuilding that confidence now, so you no longer trade clarity for comfort. This R has had access to your vulnerable seasons. They saw you when you doubted yourself, and they became accustomed to guiding you through uncertainty. Now that you are stronger, their role is shifting, and that shift feels unfamiliar to both of you. Familiar roles are hard to release, even when they no longer fit. You may notice that when you speak with more certainty, they interrupt more quickly. When you share plans with conviction, they respond with caution disguised as wisdom. That pattern reveals more than dramatic conflict ever could. Subtle resistance is still resistance. I want you to pay attention to how often your joy is redirected around them. You begin celebrating progress, and the conversation turns toward potential risks. You express excitement, and the response highlights what could go wrong. This does not always come from malice, but it does affect your momentum. This banned wealth signal was hidden in a government vault for over 70 years until now. It's a simple 9-word brain trigger used by elites to attract unlimited money while the rest of the world struggles. But the moment too many people see this, it could be deleted. Click the link in the description and comments before it's taken down forever. Your growth is triggering a mirror for them. When you rise, it reflects what they have delayed in their own life. Not everyone is prepared to celebrate what exposes their stagnation. That discomfort can translate into subtle discouragement. Do not assume this means they are your enemy. They are a human being navigating their own insecurities. But you must understand that good intentions do not erase negative impact. I am protecting you from impact, not labeling them with hatred. You are learning that access to you is a privilege. In the past, you treated access as automatic for anyone close. Now you are discovering that your time, your dreams, and your emotional space are sacred. Guarding them is wisdom, not arrogance. Soon there will be an opportunity presented to you. It will require bold agreement and quick confidence. I am alerting you because this R may attempt to slow your decision with layered doubt. If you hesitate based solely on their fear, you could delay something I designed for your advancement. This is why I am speaking clearly now. I want you prepared before the moment arrives. Preparation removes panic and strengthens resolve. When you recognize the pattern in advance, it loses power. You may also begin noticing how often they bring up your past mistakes when you step forward. It may be subtle, framed as humor or gentle reminders, yet repeated references to old failures keep your identity anchored to who you were, not who you are becoming. I am shifting your identity forward. If you feel the weight lifting as you read this and you are ready to walk in courage, comment 222 as a sign that you are embracing discernment. Let that declaration anchor your heart in trust. I am surrounding you with protection as you grow. There is another layer unfolding. This person, whose name begins with R, has grown comfortable being one of your main sounding boards. When you reduce that role, they may interpret it as rejection. Do not let their interpretation control your obedience. You are not called to explain every internal shift. Sometimes silence is stronger than defense. When you respond less emotionally and more calmly, the dynamic naturally adjusts. You might feel moments of guilt as distance increases. That guilt comes from your compassionate nature, yet compassion must not override wisdom. You can love someone and still recognize that their influence needs boundaries. Your spiritual sensitivity has increased in this season. You feel atmospheres more quickly and detect tension sooner. That sensitivity is a gift, not anxiety. I am sharpening your discernment so you walk ahead of hidden traps. The name beginning with R will continue surfacing in small confirmations. A conversation that exposes envy, a reaction that reveals insecurity, a comment that subtly undercuts your progress. Each sign will add clarity without chaos. I do not want you acting from suspicion. I want you acting from awareness. Awareness keeps your heart soft and your boundaries firm. It allows you to move wisely without becoming bitter. You are also learning independence in your faith. Instead of seeking validation through human voices, you are learning to sit quietly and trust what I whisper to your spirit. That shift will strengthen every area of your life. When you depend on me first, you are less vulnerable to subtle manipulation. This may not disappear overnight. Some relationships fade gradually as alignment shifts. Do not rush the process or force an outcome. Let truth unfold naturally. You will begin noticing how lighter you feel when you make decisions without their immediate input. That lightness is confirmation. Peace is a compass I use often. Remember that growth changes proximity. Not everyone meant to walk with you in one chapter is assigned to the next. That truth can feel heavy, but it is necessary. I am preparing you for elevation, and elevation requires a refined environment. Your voice is becoming clearer, your purpose sharper, and your confidence steadier. I will not allow subtle doubt to anchor you in hesitation. Think about how often you adjusted your tone around this person. You softened your excitement so it would not appear too bold. You edited your dreams so they would not feel threatened. That adjustment seemed small at the time, but repeated compromise slowly reshaped your confidence. I did not create you to dilute yourself for someone else's comfort. When you minimize your light, it does not protect relationships, it distorts them. The R in your life grew accustomed to the version of you that hesitated. As you rise into boldness, that familiarity is fading. There is also a subtle emotional dependency that formed over time. You grew used to hearing their opinion before trusting your own. That habit made you second-guess even when I had already given you clarity. I am breaking that cycle so that your inner voice grows stronger than outside noise. Soon you will experience a moment where you make a decision without consulting them first. Watch how they respond. The reaction will reveal more than any long conversation could. Truth often surfaces through simple shifts. You are not being asked to cut ties abruptly or create drama. You are being guided to reposition access. Access to your heart, your plans, and your vulnerabilities must be earned through alignment. Alignment shows itself through consistent support, not occasional encouragement. This may attempt to re-establish closeness by reminding you of shared history. They may bring up past loyalty or past help. While those memories are real, they do not automatically grant authority over your future. I am leading you forward, not backward. You may feel waves of emotion as clarity deepens. Sadness, disappointment, even disbelief may surface. Allow yourself to process those feelings without denying them. Denial keeps you stuck, but awareness sets you free. The more you observe without reacting, the more peace will fill you. Peace is not the absence of truth. Peace is the confidence that I am handling what you cannot see. When you trust me, even uncomfortable revelations lose their power to overwhelm you. Can just saying 9 words daily actually make money flow into your life? A top neuroscientist says yes, and the FBI accidentally confirmed it. This forgotten prayer is now transforming ordinary people into debt-free and financially free for life. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the link in description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. If you are ready to step fully into courage and release fear of disappointing others, comment 1515 as a declaration that you choose obedience over approval. Let that declaration remind you that your calling matters more than comfort. I am strengthening you with every step. There is also a deeper lesson unfolding beyond this individual. I am teaching you to recognize emotional patterns early. In the future, when similar dynamics attempt to form, you will detect them faster. Growth now becomes protection later. This person whose name begins with R is not the source of your destiny. They are simply a part of your environment during a transitional season. Environments change as purpose expands. That change does not always feel gentle, but it is necessary. You will begin to notice that conversations become shorter or less frequent. That shift is not hostility. It is alignment, adjusting naturally. When two paths begin moving at different speeds, distance forms without conflict. Guard your words carefully during this time. Do not share your full strategy or your next move prematurely. Let your actions speak when the time is right. Silence can be a shield while clarity matures. There may be one final confirmation ahead, a statement or action that removes all doubt about what I have been showing you. When it happens, do not be shocked. Receive it as confirmation rather than betrayal. You are not losing support, you are losing interference. There is a difference. True support celebrates growth without hidden tension. Interference appears supportive but carries subtle resistance. The R in your life may never openly admit insecurity. Many people are unaware of the subtle ways they project fear. That is why I am not asking you to judge their heart. I am asking you to protect your own. As your boundaries strengthen, your confidence will rise. You will feel lighter, clearer, and more decisive. Decisions that once required lengthy discussion will feel straightforward. That clarity is a sign of maturity. You are also learning that obedience sometimes requires discomfort. It would be easier to ignore what you see and continue as before. Yet easy does not always lead to destiny. Courage does. In the coming days, pay attention to how often the name surfaces in your mind, not as anxiety, but as awareness. Each time it appears, let it remind you that I am guiding you carefully. You are not imagining patterns, you are recognizing them. I want you to remain kind. Kindness does not weaken discernment, it strengthens it. When you hold both truth and grace together, you walk in balance. The shift you are experiencing is part of a greater elevation. I am refining your circle because your influence is expanding. The voices around you must match the level you are stepping into. Anything that consistently diminishes your confidence cannot accompany you forward. You are chosen and protected. This warning is not a punishment, it is preparation. The person whose name begins with R served a role in one season, but roles change as destiny unfolds. Trust that I am aligning you with relationships that strengthen your faith and fuel your purpose. What fades will do so naturally. What remains will do so with peace. There was a time when you believed that loyalty meant silence. You thought that protecting a relationship required ignoring subtle warning signs. I never asked you to ignore discernment in order to keep peace. True peace is built on truth, not avoidance. This R has been comfortable in a position of influence in your life. They grew used to shaping your thinking and being consulted before major steps. Now that you are standing more firmly on your own conviction, that position is shifting. When positions shift, reactions reveal truth. You may soon notice a subtle attempt to regain control. It could come through intensified advice, emotional reminders of past support, or even quiet withdrawal designed to make you feel guilty. Do not let guilt pull you back into old patterns. Growth sometimes feels like distance to those who benefited from your hesitation. You are not rejecting this person. You are rejecting misalignment. There is a difference. Misalignment creates tension because it resists the direction I am leading you. There will be a defining moment where your confidence will be tested. You will make a decision, and this R will respond in a way that confirms everything I have been showing you. The tone, the expression, or the energy will shift just enough for you to recognize it clearly. When that moment arrives, stay calm and grounded. I am preparing you not to argue, but to observe. Observation strengthens wisdom, reaction feeds confusion. You may also begin to realize how often your achievements were minimized. When you celebrated progress, the response may have been cautious rather than joyful. When you shared vision, the reaction may have been analytical rather than encouraging. Over time, that tone influenced how boldly you moved. I am restoring your boldness. You are stepping into a season where your voice will carry greater authority. That authority cannot thrive in an atmosphere that repeatedly questions its validity. I am refining your environment so that your calling expands without resistance. If you are ready to trust my direction fully and refuse to shrink any longer, comment 1919 as a declaration that you are choosing courage over comfort. Let that declaration seal your commitment to growth. I am strengthening you as you move forward. There is also healing happening within you. You are releasing the need to be understood by everyone. Not every person will grasp your transformation. Some will feel left behind even if you never intended that. You are learning that elevation changes dynamics. When one person grows, the balance of influence shifts. Those who were comfortable before may feel unsettled now. That unsettled feeling is not your responsibility to manage. The person whose name begins with R may never openly admit discomfort. They may even continue offering support in small ways. Yet you will sense the difference between genuine encouragement and guarded approval. Trust that sense. Why are 55 countries using the same mysterious money script? Because a leaked research file just exposed a 9-word pattern that activates wealth-attracting pathways in the brain. Repeat it daily and watch money flow like water into your life. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. You have asked me for clarity in relationships. This is clarity. It may not be dramatic or explosive, but it is steady and undeniable. Clarity rarely shouts. It reveals itself through repeated confirmation. As you move forward, reduce emotional dependence gradually. Do not rush into confrontation. Instead, strengthen your direct connection with me. Seek my guidance first, and you will notice how much less you crave external validation. There will be a point when you realize you no longer need their input to feel secure. That realization will bring unexpected peace. Peace is confirmation that alignment is returning. I want you to understand something deeply. This warning is not about fear of betrayal. It is about freedom from subtle influence. Influence shapes destiny more than dramatic events do. You are not losing a relationship. You are adjusting its position in your life. Some people remain present but no longer central. That shift allows both of you to grow in healthier ways. Watch how your energy improves as boundaries strengthen. Notice how your decisions become clearer and faster. That clarity is a sign that internal conflict is dissolving. The R in your life may respond in one of two ways. They may adapt and grow alongside you, respecting your boundaries and celebrating your rise. Or they may gradually drift as your confidence no longer feeds their sense of control. Either outcome will reveal alignment. You are not called to force either result. Let actions reveal truth. Let time confirm what discernment has shown you. I am guiding you into a season where your circle will be refined by purpose. Those who remain close will speak faith over you consistently. They will not compete, compare, or subtly question your growth. They will celebrate without tension. Stay steady as this unfolds. Do not rush ahead of my timing. You will know when to speak, when to stay silent, and when to step back. Each move will feel calm rather than chaotic. You are deeply loved and fiercely protected. Nothing escapes my sight. The person whose name begins with R has served a role in your journey, but that role is shifting as your destiny expands. There was a time when you needed constant reassurance. You leaned heavily on familiar voices because you feared making the wrong move. During that season, the R in your life felt necessary. Now you are discovering that what once felt necessary was only temporary. I am not exposing this to create bitterness in you. I am strengthening your independence. You are learning to move without leaning on someone whose confidence in you was inconsistent. You may begin noticing how often this person tries to predict your failure before you even step forward. The language may be careful, framed as preparation, yet underneath it sits a lack of belief in your capacity. I did not plant doubt in you, and I will not let someone else keep planting it either. The shift inside you is visible now. You speak more firmly. You hesitate less. You share plans with certainty rather than seeking approval. That change alters the balance of influence, and not everyone feels comfortable when the balance shifts. There may be one more revealing moment soon. It will not be loud or dramatic. It will be subtle. Perhaps a comment that exposes envy or a reaction that feels colder than usual. When that moment comes, you will not feel shocked, you will feel confirmed. You are not meant to confront everything immediately. Some revelations are meant to mature quietly in your understanding. When clarity is fully formed, action becomes simple. I want you to remain gracious. Grace protects your heart from becoming hard. You are not called to punish anyone for their insecurity. You are called to protect your destiny from its effects. The R in your life may attempt to reconnect more intensely when they sense your distance. They may ask deeper questions or try to revive old closeness. Do not mistake increased attention for renewed alignment. True alignment is shown through consistent support of your growth. You are stepping into a new season of authority. That authority requires you to trust your instincts without apology. When you feel peace about a decision, do not allow outside voices to dismantle it. If you feel strengthened by this clarity and you are ready to guard your future boldly, comment 1010 as a declaration that you stand in faith. Let that declaration remind you that you are covered and guided. I am surrounding you with wisdom as you move forward. There is also healing taking place in your heart. You are releasing the fear of being misunderstood. You once thought that explaining yourself would preserve every relationship. Now you understand that not every connection is meant to understand every level of you. Growth often creates separation before it creates elevation. The separation is not always physical. Sometimes it is emotional and subtle. You will notice conversations feeling lighter but less frequent. You are not losing something valuable. You are shedding something restrictive. Restriction does not always appear as open opposition. Sometimes it appears as cautious encouragement that keeps you smaller than you are meant to be. The person whose name begins with R may not fully recognize their role in this shift. They may believe they have always been supportive. That is why discernment matters more than declarations. Patterns speak louder than intentions. You are learning to evaluate consistency. One supportive comment does not erase repeated, subtle discouragement. Consistency reveals alignment. I am proud of the way you are handling this internally. You are not reacting with anger or rushing into confrontation. You are observing, processing, and strengthening your boundaries quietly. That maturity will serve you in every area of your life. Soon you will feel an unusual sense of relief. It will come when you realize that you no longer seek this person's reaction before celebrating your wins. That relief is freedom. You are discovering that your peace is more important than proximity. Not every relationship must remain central. Some move to the background naturally when purpose advances. What secret did the FBI hide about your brain and money? They discovered a phrase just 9 words long that flips a switch in your mind to attract wealth without effort. It's already changed the lives of thousands of people in just weeks. If you're seeing this, you're lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. Keep your heart soft, but your boundaries firm. You can pray for this hour without granting unlimited access. You can wish them well while still protecting your vision. The future I have prepared for you requires clarity of voice and strength of spirit. I will not allow subtle doubt to cloud your decisions at a critical moment. Every warning I give is rooted in protection. As you continue forward, your circle will refine itself. Those who genuinely celebrate your rise will remain steady. Those who were comfortable with your hesitation will drift as you grow stronger. Trust that nothing is being removed without reason. I am aligning you with relationships that carry faith rather than fear. Your destiny is too important to be filtered through insecurity. Stay grounded in me. Stay attentive to your inner peace. The person whose name begins with R has played their part in your story, but that role is changing as you rise. There was a time when you would have defended them quickly. You would have dismissed any uneasy feeling and protected the relationship at all costs. That reflex is fading because your loyalty is no longer blind. Loyalty without discernment creates vulnerability, and I am strengthening you beyond that stage. You are beginning to see how often your decisions were delayed after conversations with this person. You would feel ready, confident, and aligned, then leave uncertain and cautious. That repeated shift was not coincidence. It was the effect of subtle influence over time. I am not revealing this to create distance rooted in anger. I am revealing it to restore your speed. There are moments in life when timing matters deeply, and hesitation can cost opportunity. I am clearing hesitation from your path. The R in your life may sense that something has changed in you. They may notice that you share less detail or that you seem less reactive to their opinions. That awareness might create tension. Let that tension surface without trying to smooth it over. You are not responsible for keeping every relationship comfortable. You are responsible for remaining obedient to the direction I give you. Obedience sometimes feels like distance to those who once benefited from your uncertainty. There will be a defining shift soon. You will make a bold move without consulting them, and you will feel peace rather than anxiety. That peace will confirm how much you have grown. Growth always feels strange at first because it breaks old habits. You may also observe attempts to reassert influence. Advice may become stronger. Questions may become more probing. Emotional reminders of past support may surface. Recognize these moments calmly without reacting defensively. I am teaching you to remain steady. Steadiness disarms manipulation without confrontation. When you respond with calm conviction, old patterns lose their grip. If you feel ready to walk forward without shrinking for anyone's comfort, comment 1717 as a declaration that you trust my guidance fully. Let that act remind you that your confidence is rooted in me, not in approval from others. I am strengthening your resolve. There is something deeper you must understand. The shift happening now is not only about one person. It is about the kind of influence you will allow in your future. I am preparing you for greater visibility and responsibility. As your purpose expands, your environment must refine. Those closest to you must carry faith, not subtle fear. I am aligning your circle with your destiny. The person whose name begins with R may not leave your life entirely, Some relationships remain, but in a different capacity. What changes is access and influence. Access is powerful, and not everyone should have unlimited access to your inner world. You are learning to measure alignment by consistency rather than occasional encouragement. One supportive conversation does not erase a pattern of subtle discouragement. Patterns tell the truth over time. Soon you will look back and realize how much you edited yourself to maintain harmony. You softened your dreams. You limited your excitement. You downplayed your ambition. That version of you is fading. I created you to rise boldly. Your calling does not require shrinking to remain accepted. The right connections will celebrate your growth without hesitation. You may feel moments of sadness as clarity deepens. It is natural to grieve the version of a relationship you once believed in. Allow yourself to feel without turning backward. You are not becoming cold, you are becoming wise. Wisdom protects without hardening the heart. There will be a subtle confirmation that removes the last bit of doubt. It may be a careless comment or a reaction that reveals insecurity clearly. When it happens, you will not feel anger. You will feel resolution. Resolution is peace with truth. It is the calm acceptance that something must shift. That shift does not require conflict. It requires confidence. As you move forward, you will notice your energy improving. Decisions will feel lighter. Opportunities will feel less complicated. That simplicity is a sign that interference is losing power. The R in your life has been part of your story, but they are not the author of your future. I am. And I will not allow subtle doubt to shape what I have already ordained. Keep your heart clean. Pray for them quietly if you feel led. But do not allow compassion to override discernment. You are stepping into a new chapter marked by clarity, strength, and calm authority. The warning I gave you was never about fear. It was about preparation. Trust what you see. Trust what you feel. Trust the peace that comes when you limit influence and strengthen boundaries. I am guiding every step you take. I am refining your circle and sharpening your discernment. The person whose name begins with R served a role in one season, but your elevation requires a new alignment. There was a time when you confused intensity with loyalty. If someone reacted strongly, you assumed it meant they cared deeply. Now you are recognizing that intensity can sometimes mask insecurity. Calm, consistent support is what truly aligns with your growth. A neuroscientist says yes, a 9, word script, long buried in government files, can fire up a prehistoric brainwave that pulls money in faster. This breakthrough is already under legal pressure and could disappear any second. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. The R in your life often reacted strongly when you made independent decisions. That reaction did not always look like anger. Sometimes it looked like urgent advice or persistent questioning. Yet underneath it was discomfort with losing influence. You are no longer seeking permission to grow. That shift is powerful. When you stop asking for validation, you remove the leverage that subtle control once held. There will soon be a moment of visible contrast. You will share progress with someone else who responds with genuine excitement. The difference between that response and the R's usual tone will be unmistakable. Contrast often reveals what familiarity concealed. Do not rush to confront or explain. Let the shift remain internal and steady. Your calmness will communicate more than any speech could. You may also notice that as you pull back slightly, the R becomes more attentive. Increased messages, increased opinions, increased presence. Recognize that not all increase equals alignment. Sometimes increase is an attempt to restore old positioning. You are not obligated to respond with the same intensity you once did. Balanced responses are healthy. You are learning that you can care without overextending. If you feel peace rising as you step into this balanced strength, comment 1111 as a declaration that you believe I am guiding this process.